It was a quiet evening when Emma moved into her new apartment. The building was old, but it had a charm that appealed to her: creaky floors, vintage furniture, and big windows that looked out onto the empty street. She felt lucky to have found such a cozy place. That night, as she unpacked her things, she noticed something strange. Every time she passed by the large living room window, she felt like she was being watched. She glanced outside, but the street was empty, bathed in the dim glow of the streetlight. Shrugging it off as nerves, she continued unpacking. Later, as she settled into bed, her phone buzzed. A text from her neighbor downstairs: "Hey, are you expecting someone? There's a man standing outside your window." Her heart skipped a beat. She slowly turned to face the living room. From her bedroom, she could just make out the shape of the window, dark, still. She crept over, inching towards the living room, her feet barely making a sound on the wooden floor. Her neighbor had to be mistaken, right? Maybe they had seen a shadow or reflection. But as Emma stepped closer, she saw it. A figure, standing completely still, staring into her apartment from the other side of the glass. She froze. The figure didn't move. He stood there, motionless, his face obscured by the darkness. Just watching. Emma's breath hitched, her hands shaking as she reached for her phone to call the police. As she dialed, the figure outside slowly raised a hand and pressed it against the window, leaving a misty imprint in the cold glass. Moments later, the police arrived, but when they searched the area, they found nothing. The street was empty, and there were no signs of anyone nearby. Emma tried to convince herself it was just her imagination, a trick of the light, but every night after that, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone, or something, was still out there. Watching. And the next morning, as she stepped outside her apartment, she saw it. Another handprint? Pressed against the outside of her window.